I am resident of Colorwood for YouTube. Joel Sades, that's my buddy Patrick McCray. We are here to do episode Dark Shadows episode 105, written by Francis Swan, directed by John Sedgwick. So this starts off with the a visit to the sheriff's office. You see Sheriff George Patterson, played by Dana Elker here, and he is reading the coroner report to Bill Malloy's death. He has it open. And Burt Devlin comes into his office. He says, you need to reopen the Bill Malloy's case. He was murdered. He goes, well, first of all, he goes, in order to reopen something, I have to close it first. And letting him know, hey, I never closed the case.
Mm-hmm. At first it looks like Patterson's going to be a flunky to the Collinses, but it's anything but.
Yeah, I really like what they do with Dana Elker here. He does remind Burt that, hey, look, this is a small town and everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, and if he left everybody think it was an open case, people would clam up, they'd get suspicious of each other. And he didn't really want that, so he presented them with an alternative. So he told a little white lie, basically. Which was really, what did you think of this here? A cop sort of playing both sides in a lot of ways.
Well, when you're dealing with a town that's built everything on deception.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to be that weapon to fight it. Who was it who sang the song, Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Little Lies? Do you remember that song?
I do.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Whoever it was, I want you to imagine that song being lip synced by Dana Elker.
Fleetwood Mac.
And that's what we're dealing with here. I've talked about Dana Elker at length and girth at times. Just a fascinating and bizarre creature. I don't know what to make of him, but he's haunted me my whole life. I think I first saw him as the chief in the Get Smart movie, The Nude Bomb, which could have warped my thinking forever, because Dana does have a nude scene in that, which he does not have in episode 105.
Yeah.
And in fact, he is the only actor who doesn't in the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He does not. Mitchell Ryan's character, Burt Devlin.
I've thrown you off completely. You have no idea what to say now.
Tells him that Victoria Winters has proved that Bill Malloy was murdered, and obviously Burt thinks the suspect is Roger Collins, and so they decide to take a trip up the Collinsport or Collinwood, if you will, and Roger and Liz are in there talking. It's amazing because we get no Vicky in this episode, no Carolyn, no David. We get We get Dana Elker. We get Joan Bennett. We get Elizabeth, and we get Lewis Edmonds, Roger Collins. So 4 people in this episode. Yeah, and we get 4 people, and man, they do a really great job carrying this episode.
I love these chamber piece episodes where it's just 4 actors, and they're real actors, Yeah. And there's no secondary reason or primary reason why they're on the show except to act. There's a good one in 1897, I think. Or maybe it's 1840. But you've got a Trask, you've got Louis Edmonds, you got Jonathan Friedman, maybe David Selby. And it's really, 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 really good. Anyway, this is one of those. And I think it's a chance just to see the acting. And Mitch Ryan is having such a good time. For one thing, when he has the hilarious line that he doesn't want to drink, which they should have had a laugh track, just go wild at that point. But beyond that, that poor guy, I shouldn't say that. But beyond that, Mitch's entrance to Collinwood, he sort of comes around the corner, just when Roger thinks it's safe to go back in the water. There he is.
Yep.
Okay, Collins.
Yeah, and I like too that give Francis Swan a lot of credit here for how he writes this episode, because they're building the suspense of okay, Vicky was given a sedative in a previous episode because she was nearly run down. She was nearly murdered. Um, and that's why she's not in this episode, because she's asleep upstairs. And
Like the
so
rest of you people should be at this decent hour.
Yeah, I really like how they, in a sense, they write her out of this episode in a way. It's really
they're practicing.
Yeah. It's really smart. It's really good. I mean, we're not too far. We're like a couple episodes away from her being kidnapped by Matthew Morgan. We're not too far off. So there's that.
I mean, I'm surprised that the next episode doesn't begin. My name is Victoria Winters. I had the weirdest dream last night. It lasted for at least 24 minutes. At one point, I was a great big ham sandwich, and Burke was a knife full of mayonnaise. He chased me around the plate again and again and again. And then, that's sure. Why not? Just her weird Freudian dream.
Now they do, when they go into the drawing room, Burke and the sheriff start questioning Roger, and Roger's in denial about this whole pen thing. He goes, "Well, I did take the pen from Carolyn, but I did lose it. I don't know where." And he tells
details. Who we know what the truth is, Gordon, but seriously, what not guilty person remembers anything about what they did involving a pen the next day? That's how I mean, nice pens, not nice pens, I lose them all the time. Now I've graduated on to styluses. and so no one remembers what they did with a pen. Only the fact, it's kind of like I'm amazed they didn't lock Roger up right there, because really it's like testing positive to be a witch back in the Salem witch trials. If you lived, I guess you were a witch or something. It was something like that. But the very fact that I was at Collins, just the very fact you remember anything involving a pen is reason alone that we should lock you up. Who remembers a pen? Honestly, get out of here, Roger. I know I know we don't have the internet yet, but still, focus on something else.
And that's the thing too. Like he's saying that Vicky's making up the story because he's putting in, okay, do you know Vicky believes in ghosts? He's trying to throw shade at Vicky's character, obviously here, to throw the sheriff off the trail. But at first you're sort of wondering, okay, is the sheriff buying any of Roger's bullshit? And then that answer is going to be no by the end of this episode. But he's not. But what I love most here is he and Burke are not alone in smelling Roger's bullshit. Liz is like, come on, tell me the truth.
Yeah. I mean, it's the episode is redolent with Roger's bullshit. Yeah, you smell it down the block. It's like fajita night at the cannery.
I tell you this. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Why do you think they went with Matthew Morgan instead of Lewis Edmonds as Roger Collins as the killer here?
Well, I think they were setting Louis Edmonds up for some other fate.
Yeah.
That he was not supposed to survive. Maybe he's already survived longer than he was supposed to, but he was not supposed to survive. And so so that's already a thing. I think Matthew Morgan's a red herring in a way, because he is so obviously the murderer, just of anyone, of a good aroma. I mean, and he murders all sorts of things. He's so obviously the murderer that you have to put him out of your mind to think, well, it wouldn't be him. I mean, come on, that's the first person they would suspect. Well, it is for good reason. It was him.
Yeah, when you're, as somebody who, when I started these all over again, and as you're going along, as I was going along, I did notice subtle little things that sort of, okay, Matthew's your killer. Okay. Matthew pushes the body. He lies about finding Bill Malloy's body. He says it was seaweed.
Sure.
And the first person who picks it up is Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, "Okay, I know you just told a lie. What did you really find?" And she says it was Bill Malloy's body. She goes, "My God, you did what?" And she's in shock. So, and out of all the suspects questioned, Matthew, Sam, Roger, even Burke, he's questioned the least. And
Yes.
really, for a while, he shows the least interest in the case. He just wants it to be done with and over. So he's happy that it's over with and that it was ruled an accidental drowning. But when at post Bill Malloy's ghost scaring the life out of Vicky almost, and telling her, "You're going to die here too, just like I did." And well, Matthew Morgan's interest is piqued when he hears that Bill Malloy's ghost spoke to Victoria Winters, and it's David that tells him, obviously. So you do have a lot of hints that point to Matthew without him actually being questioned by the sheriff. I think a lot of these episodes are more, which is weird, which I've always found strange, is they're more so to one give Roger, to give audiences that doubt about Roger's character, but we already have that doubt through David too.
First episode, he's threatening to chase him off a hill or something.
But David's
you're not dealing with number one dad.
No, you're not. David's no angel though himself either. He did try to kill his dad.
I mean, yeah, but if you got a father like Roger, it's just self-defense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Not Journey in the Land, Elizabeth. That's what he would say. Aunt Elizabeth, not a journey in the land. Not a journey in the land. Well, perhaps, David, but if I don't punish you now, you might just turn around and do this again one day. I won't, Aunt Elizabeth. I promise.
I gotta tell you,
that might work on Miss Winters, but it won't work on me.
I know we get a bunch of different set designs way later down the road from Cy Thomasoff, but these early set designs are a work of art by him, man. I mean, the sheriff's office, the Collins Port Inn,
they're portraits.
Yeah, they really are. They jump out at you too in a great way. Even when there's people in them, the sets still stand out.
Yeah.
I mean, even today, like when you're watching the old DS and stuff, it's like when I get back to this, I'm thinking, man, that sheriff's office really jumps out at you. The Collinwood inside the drawing room, the foyer, it pops really well.
Do you think they had fewer sets per day?
I
think that was part of it.
I think, in my opinion, again, I don't know. I think they had sets per character in a sense. Like if they knew they were going to have the sheriff, they would have the sheriff's, you know what I mean, the jail or whatever.
Sure.
If Maggie was going to be in an episode, they either had, sometimes if she wasn't like going to Collinwood, they would have either the Blue Whale, the Collins Port Inn, or the Evans Cottage. Sometimes they would have all three. Sometimes they would have all three in that episode. But, and again, you'll sort of see stuff later on too. When Barnabas finally shows up, you get a combination of the graveyard. The old house is now more of a permanent set. So you'll get those adages on, which is great because it adds a little more to the show.
Yes, it does. It does. The value is still added. I think it's easier to have this stuff be impressive in black and white as well.
Yeah,
because you're just dealing with contrast and brightness.
Yeah, I think too. Like even when the show switches the color, it gives Cy Thomasoff sets a whole new set of life and through eyes, because the colors always they were so great with the sets and the outfits. Really, really good. I mean, you're right. The black and white is great too, but Cy Thomasoff was just such a master, and it's great to go back and watch these and see how beautiful his sets really were.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think most of the major set designers at this time in television were designing for both black and white and color.
Yeah.
Because in '66, General Sarnoff made NBC the first all color network.
Oh, cool.
'66 was the year.
Cool. Cool. Um, Now, Dark Shadows, they wouldn't turn color till what, late, like 67, right? Late
Yeah,
67?
that's right.
Okay. Okay. Just checking. But when they did it, though, I do like where they choose, they reshoot the scene where Maggie walks into the Blue Whale and Barnabas is sitting there, and they shoot that episode in color. I think that was a really I don't know why they picked that episode to have it in color, but I think it was a real, whoever made that decision, bravo, really smart
Well,
move.
it's literally about one character traveling from one world to another world, from one set of expectations and realities about Collinwood or
Hmm.
Collinsport to the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it is a transitional episode in every sense.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This episode here, they don't, obviously there's no Vicky Winters to mention that, but here, as the sheriff and Burt Devlin leave, Liz wants the truth, and Roger's sort of bobbing and weaving. He goes outside. He goes to where he buried the pen because Burke showed him the other pen that he gave Blair, and he gets the pen from the ground, and there's Burke and the sheriff. They're like, "Oh, thank you, Roger. You couldn't have made it more easier for us." And Roger's going to be getting arrested here. He going to
It's
jail.
true. It's true. It fulfills his
Uh,
desires. So role play night again for Roger Collins.
what did you think of this episode, man?
Well, my feelings towards this part of the show are notorious. So when I say that I liked the episode, I think that's a genuine compliment, and I
Yes.
did. There's a lot going on here, and the characters get a chance to shine. It is. We're gonna be. I think we're gonna be talking about this pen for a while. So get
Yes.
used to it, but it still has some of its novelty here. And the idea of Roger burying an incriminating pen is funny.
Yes. Yes. I
It's like
also
it's a pen, dude.
uh you're a teacher, man. How many times have students probably taken pens from you?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go on a vendetta. I'm gonna hunt down every single one, starting with the 27 years ago. Alice Simpson borrowed a pen in Theater 2. It was 10:10 a.m. It was a Bic. I'm gonna get it back, Alice. I'm coming. I'm coming for you. Watch out. She was actually a wonderful actress. She was very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I also love in this episode, Elizabeth talks about Bill Malloy's ghost, and she reminds Roger that seaweed was very real. Um, so there is that. There is a heavy conversation of about Bill Malloy's ghost in this episode between Liz and Roger. Really, really well done by Francis Swan. Man, who's I know Sam Hall is probably a lot of people's favorite director, but before Sam Hall comes along, who's one of your favorite, or sorry, writers? Who's one of your favorite writers before Sam Hall comes along here?
Well, I think we all know the answer. I
Yeah,
think we all know the answer. Ron Sproat.
yeah, Ron's a really great
Love
writer.
Ron. I love Ron. Joe Caldwell has some really good poetry.
Mhm.
Literally, I think he has some dialogue maybe from Woodard that's just
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
Show your magnificence, I think, is a phrase that he came up with. And of course, we're leaving out the obvious, and we shouldn't. Art Wallace, who
yeah,
was Dark Shadows for the longest time.
yeah. I think Art does a really great job because again, when the show starts off, he has to have all these elements, not just the people, but he has to write in again because we don't see a ghost for a long time. So
You don't.
he has to write an innuendo of it being haunted, And that's where Art Wallace is really, to me, at his best. Not just the soap opera stuff of the people. Yeah, that's there. But again, this is a gothic soap opera that's going to be there. But what Art Wallace does really well is he trusts the actors to sell that, hey, the Collinwood is haunted. There's something going on up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have a haunting innuendo, check behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. And Art Wallace does a really good job. I think what I like most about Francis Swan's writing style, he really builds tension. He writes tension so well with these characters. That's something I've noticed of his.
You know, you could have innuendo that meant really nothing.
Yeah.
And I would say that's what we call that, like, light, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have some that is very, very, very tied to the mythology and it's meant to be elusive of that. And I think we would call that deep.
Yes.
Do you like when you watch something? Do you like to have deep innuendo? Have you had plots be deep innuendo?
I don't.
Characters deep innuendo.
Yeah, but
How
I
deep
also.
innuendo were they? I'm just kidding. I'm just making it
Okay.
up. That's all. This is meaningless dribble from the author of the Dark Shadows Daybook.
Well, I'll say this to you that with art, for example, with Art Wallace, I think his like the care when you hear Maggie Evans and Victoria Winter's first interacting together, and Vicky says, "You make it sound like there's chains rattling in every corridor," and Maggie says, "You think that's wrong? I could tell you stories that will rock you here all the way back to the railroad." And to the train station, she goes, and Vicky says, "I'd rather you didn't." And that little, it's not deep, but it hits hard enough to let you know, hey, there's some shit going on. I think that's where Art Wallace does a really good job, and it because for a character's mind to be played with before arriving at the house was a big deal. Like, okay, this house isn't, and Vicky doesn't believe in ghosts for a long while until she finally sees one. Because what's the old adage? Seeing is believing. So there's that too. That's really, really, really well done. Yeah, I'm with you. Ron as a writer is really, really underrated to me. I'm with you on that. He wrote some great Barnabas episodes that are just killer. I mean, great episodes. So
God, oh my God, my mic has been muted this whole time. Jewel, I've been talking a mile a minute.
I'm sorry.
And I thought you were just being rude. I've been talking about innuendo and all this other stuff. And I've been talking about Vicky and Ron Sprout and just like good stuff too, not just meaningless dribble. And you haven't heard it. I thought, wow, man, Jules standing up for himself. He's not going to let me get away with this.
Go ahead, you take it.
I don't remember what I said. It's not your fault. It's my fault for not being able to operate a freaking digital screen.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay because what you were saying was worth it.
Oh my gosh. Let me think. Is there anything you want to add before we get going here?
Just everything I didn't say, but I don't remember what I didn't say, so it doesn't matter. Stuff about ghosts and things. I don't know. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Though Patrick's mic is muted, if you want to check out Patrick's solid work, go pick up the Dark Shadows Daybook and Dark Shadows Daybook Unbound. And you could also go to the Collinsport Historical Society, which there will be a link to that as well.
Jewel, I don't know if it's up right now. I think it may be a CryptoScan website again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was not a Wallace McBride production, by the way. The CryptoScan stuff. He didn't come up. Trust me, if he had come up with it, it would have looked a lot better.
Yeah, I'll double check before I leave a link.
Okay.
But we have another video to do. But
well, sort of. I mean, that's an even more abstract topic.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. But for this Dark Shadows episode, that is my buddy Patrick McCray. I'm Joel Saints. You guys have a great night and take care.
Now, Joel, I would like if